Howdy Blue Journalists! Hope you guys have had an awesome week so far. I'm back with my Tackling Struggles series. I hope you guys enjoyed the last video. I hope it was helpful. You know, it was a bit of a backtrack on how to deal with toxic people. So I think all of us have dealt with situations like that, and I hope some of those tips helped you guys out a little bit. But this time I'm going to carry on with another topic. And this one's a bit of a, it's a bit of a personal topic in terms of a lot of people deal with this at different moments in their life. Sometimes it could deal with pressure, they're getting societal pressure or family pressure or peer pressure, or even pressure that you put on yourself. So yeah, I want to continue on with this series, and I'm really enjoying the feedback I'm getting from you guys, and I want to hear more from you guys. I want you guys to participate more and get involved with these tough stories. So the topic for today is how to stay grounded in an ever-changing world, in an ever-shifting world. So as you guys know, I'm going to give you a bit of a context with observations and with stuff that I've been reading and people that I've been following. It's really hard with social media, with a lot of things that are out there now, with even newspapers and media. There's this sort of persona and pressure for us to sort of be a certain way. And I've addressed these in some of my realizations, and I want to continue and expand on this one point because I feel like it's so important. And a lot of the times we get lost in this world. We get lost with all these bombardments and advertisements and peoples and their achievements and winning. And I think sometimes it really actually has the adverse effect of motivation. It actually demotivates people, and they sort of sit back and they feel that they're not doing enough for themselves. They're not doing enough for their loved ones. And it affects you emotionally, mentally, physically in a lot of ways. It affects your relationships as well. I want to actually break it down. What does meaning grounded mean? I want you guys to get involved. Start commenting on this video your version of being grounded, because everyone has their own version of being grounded. But from my perspective, a grounded person is someone who knows their value, someone that respects themselves, someone that knows crystal clear where they're going in life in terms of they have a background, they have history, they have roots, they've struggled through issues and challenges, and they've come out at the top raising with roaring colors, and sometimes they've also failed. So it's not that these people are just geniuses and they never sort of get pulled down by life. They do, but they get back up and they keep going. And the problem is sometimes when you forget about being grounded and you sort of keep looking externally, you actually start getting lost, and that's where you sort of start feeling a bit shaky. You feel uncertain. So feelings like uncertainty, anxiety, depression, all these sort of things start popping up when you're feeling uncertain and not grounded. This will be sort of tackling how to get over that hurdle. So for me, I think I also struggled with something like this in the past when I was a lot younger, when I was still discovering myself. And it happens to people who have, quarter life crisis or midlife crisis, where they're not able to figure out who they are, essentially. They sort of are defined by what society tells them who they are. And they're not sort of looking inwards, they're sort of always looking outwards, trying to please other people, and they're trying to live other people's dreams most of the times, and they're trying to live by this rule book of life that says you're going to get successful. So it's, for example, if you sort of work in this area, in this profession, in this career, you're guaranteed that your life's going to be better than most people's lives. But what people don't teach you, and this is where I feel like we need to get emotional intelligence involved, is that life is very unpredictable. It's not always in one path, and the outcome is always different. So you might go into a job thinking, okay, this is what I should be doing because I've been told to do this, but rather than coming from your inside, from your passion, it might turn into anything. It might be amazing, it might be the best decision of your life, but it's not coming from a place of genuine certainty and passion. So being grounded really is actually always getting in touch with your true self. And it's things that we were always dreaming of doing when we were kids. So I want you guys, if you feel like you're in a position of not being grounded, or you want to get to that position of being grounded, go back to your childhood and think about the things that you really love doing and the things that you've always been wanting to do and you've always been passionate about, and maybe you've lost touch with that side. Or it's because you've been told to act a certain way and to always portray yourself a certain way, you've lost touch with who you were. It's always a good time, like this is where you sort of start getting a bit technical, so If you get a pen and paper out and start writing down, what are the things that made me happy when I was a kid? What are the dreams that I wanted to achieve when I was a child? And what are my passions when I was 5 years old? Like, what would I tell my 5-year-old self now? If you break that down, and for me, I think mine went back to my identity. I always loved my culture and my identity, and I amplified it when I grew up because that helped me stay grounded. Being around my family, being around my culture, uplifting my values made me feel more grounded and purposeful as a person. So I went back to that. I went back to that list of things. And I had a lot of other passions that I was, always carrying out in my daily life, but for some reason I lost touch with that person. So I got some of those things back into my life. So once you write this list, guys, so this is the first part of the process. You start writing down a list of things that you were passionate about, that you always wanted to achieve, and then you start breaking it down. Now the next step of the process would be, ask yourself why you lost touch with that person. What was the reason? What were some of the factors and challenges that made you sort of step away from that? And just think about it for a second. You're assessing your patterns, basically. You're going back in time and assessing why you lost touch with yourself. And that's really important because when you get to that stage in life where you feel like I haven't achieved enough, that's when you start reassessing your steps, essentially. That's when you start breaking it down a bit more. So once you start, once you've come up with certain things like, okay, so in this stage of my life, for example, I was part of the wrong friends group. They weren't motivating me. I was getting into a bad circle of friends. So that's what I need to improve. I need to start looking for friends, or I need to start being around people that uplift me and that I'm in a good, positive mood for my mind to be focused on the things that I love. So if that's an example. If it was your family, for example, okay, maybe I should sit down and chat to them about this is what I'm really passionate about, and I think I want to go pursue this dream that I've always dreamt of doing, and I'm not feeling satisfied with the things that I was doing now because I've been doing it for someone else. I haven't been doing it for myself. I've been trying to impress or trying to live another person's life because I respect you, but now I think it's time to respect myself. So you start actually assessing the reasons why you fell out of staying grounded. Now the third part would be actually implementing this process. For a lot of people in different times, I think women go through this a lot. They see images in the media, Instagram, Facebook, newspapers, where they feel like they have to look a certain way or be a certain way to get someone's attention. They have to dress a certain way, and that actually distracts them. They feel like they need to be someone else to get accepted in society. But find ways where you can bring parts of yourself out, whether it's the way you dress, you do your hair. It's something that you do in your daily life that makes you feel more yourself, whether it's an anklet or a bracelet that you were given when you were a child, and like a locket. There's so many little memories and things that are buried in our past, and we want to bring those things back into our current life. So start doing a bit of that. And the fourth step of the process, so obviously in this third step of the process, you want to eliminate things that maybe distract you from this sort of thinking, and maybe they go back to your negative side of thinking, where you're thinking, I'm not being able to be myself, I feel like I need to be someone else. So you start cutting out things like this. Maybe it's as harsh as I'm cutting out Instagram. I can't be on it anymore because it's distracting me from achieving my true grounded purpose. Or maybe you change your Instagram to suit things that are more positive and more uplifting for you, rather than making you feel demotivated. There's many ways to go about it, but these are some tips, right? And the fourth step of the process, guys, is to actually start having, whether it's reminders on your phone or whether it's calendar updates, anything that sort of notes around your house, anything that helps you improve and, actually make this a reality. So if it's saying, all right, at 6 a.m. I'm going to go do this yoga class because this is what I loved doing as a kid, and I know it's really hard for me right now, but I need to get this done. And when you start doing these little steps and they start adding up to that big thing, you realize that, holy moly, I've been going back to my roots. I've been staying grounded. Maybe for some people like you, guys out there, you want to get more in touch with your culture, great. Start learning the language, start understanding your culture, start maybe cooking the foods, start getting involved, get hands-on with it. Maybe you liked to garden when you were younger and you fell out of it, so start understanding about plants, start getting into that mindset of thinking, and start bringing some of those elements into your life. It's all about bringing little elements into your life that eventually add up to this huge, awesome artboard or just this amazing collage of things that make up who you are. It's a bit like Jenga, you know, you start putting the blocks one by one and then eventually you end up with the answer and you're like, wow, I made it. So, and I also want you guys to track your progress on this and process. So once you start doing these processes, like start really looking at your own results, maybe start tracking it, start sharing it with your friends, start telling people like, I can't believe, like I'm, you know, for example, if you're Ethiopian or you're Nigerian or some kind of exotic Moroccan, anyone like that, and you want to get more in touch with your culture, like start inviting your friends over for dinner and say, hey, you know what, I'm learning to cook Ethiopian food and I'm just so like involved in it. Why don't you guys come involve yourselves as well? I'll cook dinner for you. Let's chat over dinner. Let's talk about each other's cultures. Let's open up a little bit more. Let's start talking about these topics that we don't really talk about much. And you know, you're trying to actually do a pattern. You're actually creating a pattern in your life to help you achieve these things. So you're not just thinking about doing these things, but you're also carrying them out, which eventually becomes a habit in your life. So guys, this is a 4-step process. So it's like the 4 reasons, like the 4 steps of becoming grounded. And just remember guys, you've only got yourself inside. You're the best person you can do. You know what I mean? You can actually get out there and start achieving what you truly need to achieve when you think about it from a good place and a good pure intention. So start getting grounded, start getting in touch with yourself more, and it's gonna help. It's gonna change your whole environment. Your friends are gonna realize that you're so much happier now and that things have changed and you're getting more grounded. So these are some tips guys, and any other topics I would love to hear from you. I want to get involved with you guys as well. Any suggestions, feedback, anything like that, please shoot it through to me. And have a great, awesome year and a month. And I'm going to continue on this series, so there's going to be a lot more videos to come. But I hope this helped you guys, and I hope this helped you to stay grounded. So my new caption is stay safe, stay brave. So please do that, and you know, power through it. Write down your goals for this year and make sure that they come from your heart. So see you guys in the next video. Have a great